My name is Jimmy.
What's up, you guys? Jimmy here with my review for the season finale of the Netflix series Daredevil. Now, I have to say, overall in this series, from start all the way to the end of this first season, I have to say, holy shit. That's why I have to say, among the many other things that people could agree with me on. Now, this episode was like the 13th episode, which that's how all these Marvel Netflix series are going to last, and it was actually titled Daredevil. Now, pretty much, sum up of this episode, they were able to use the law. Instead of killing Fisk, they were able to use the law to cripple Fisk so badly that he could be arrested. Everyone that was ever working for him, everyone who he ever paid out, senators, judges, reporters, everyone that was under his thumb as his employee was all taken out. Thanks to justice. And one thing overall that actually sort of surprised me. It wasn't the boss over at the New York Post that snitched on Ben. It was his secretary. Which I was like, you're not a... Because since that episode with Ben's death scene, I was like, you are not his friend. You snitched on him to Fisk, which caused him to die. But yeah, that was a little bit of a shocker. And, the episode did start off with a funeral with Ben's funeral, which, it got me so emotional. It kind of made me think of how much I love my girlfriend and that she means to me. And I would do whatever it takes to not lose her. So that was a pretty emotional opening scene. And throughout this episode, it seemed like they did, like, classical opera type music, which I thought it fit the mood. It totally fit the mood of that point in the episode. A major character died, so you're gonna get sad about it. But gosh, this season finale, it just shows you, just this entire show shows you that Marvel can make a TV show, make it seem like it's a big movie, because that's what this felt like. Just like the guys said before the show even came. They said it was going to be like a big movie, which that's what it kind of was, because it's like each episode didn't have like some final scene like we see in some shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or The Flash. It just felt like one whole big movie. It was the show has been a great way to bring Daredevil to his roots. They made it dark, because Daredevil is not a character that's all flowers and sunshine and rainbows. He's dark. He is a hero in the worst part of New York City, Hell's Kitchen. And one thing I did sort of notice is that over at the police department, I saw what looks like, how they got those plaques of like past people that worked at a police department. It looked like a little bit like Stan Lee, which, if I'm correct, he was a cameo for the photography for the show. So that's probably his cameo in this first season, at least. So I thought that was pretty cool. We may have seen it earlier. I just didn't notice, because I'm not the person that tries to solely pay attention to everything. I guess it's more like if it's sort of obvious, that's when I pay attention to it. But this season finale, we finally get to see the red suit. There's like, I literally have only heard one person gripe about it. Just one person. But I, on the other hand, I love it. In comparison to Ben Affleck's suit from the movie, a major upgrade to that. I mean, it's more functional. It seems more like a real superhero costume. Just, in some ways, it's sort of similar to Captain America's, except Cap doesn't really worry about body armor. But the mask does kind of remind you of Captain America. And it even ends with Fisk and Daredevil fighting. And it was actually a pretty dang cool fight. It was a pretty damn good fight. Because the odds were evened up. Last time, Daredevil, he was beaten to death already. And Fisk almost killed him. And Fisk had armor when Daredevil did not. So this whole fight, I loved it because they were both evenly matched. I mean, it was just so hilarious how the fact that it was an even matched fight. But like I said, overall on the show, on this season finale, it is amazing. Because my seal of approval, I recommend people that watch it. I recommend, for comic book fans, for Daredevil fans, for fans of Marvel in general, this is such a great show. And Fisk was only the beginning. Because not only is the show getting a second season next year, but also later this year, we'll see the next member of the Defenders, Jessica Jones, which later this year, she will have her series up, which we will be seeing at some points in there. I don't know how occurring this is going to be, but we're also going to see Luke Cage appear in that show. So, it's not the end. And plus, there's a season 2. In this whole war. This war, it may have been about just the Defenders, or it may have been just about Daredevil himself, which I love that they finally call him Daredevil. I just love how this show kind of honors Frank Miller's work in the show. I've seen some of Frank Miller's work in the past with Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, which is like one of the greatest graphic novels of all time. I can say that, and anyone I know would say it as well. But that's pretty much my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below on this first season in general. And also, Avengers: Age of Ultron is out. So, I will be seeing it Monday afternoon, I guess, technically. And don't forget, there's also Free Comic Book Day tomorrow. So, definitely getting excited for just this weekend. And also, I'm thinking for my anniversary to do a Marvel vs. DC. Like, to kind of talk about each of them. What they're doing right, and honest thoughts of what they're doing in comics, TVs, cartoon, and movies. But, as always, my name's Jimmy, and until next time, bye.